There we go. Okay, welcome to our Monday Zoom. I will mute everyone so we can do the pledges without talking over each other.
Mhm.
Okay, and just unmute when we're done. Tops pledge. I am an intelligent person. I will control my emotions and not let my emotions control me. Every time I'm tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I will take off pounds sensibly. Cops pledge. I am an intelligent person. I will control my emotions and not let my emotions control me. Every time I am tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I am to be an example as I keep off pounds sensibly. And I just realized, if you guys can unmute yourself, we are all cops. Every single one of us. It's like, yay! So
Yay!
it's a cops meeting. It's a cops meeting. So, does anybody belong to a cops honor society?
I do.
What do they do there when you meet?
Hmm.
Because there is
But you
none
know what?
around me.
I've only been to one
Hmm.
when
Well,
we were
that's right,
meeting.
COVID. Yeah.
I've only been to one when we were meeting. So we do a lot of fun things. We have auctions and we hear inspirational stories. It's kind of it's like a workshop, but it's with cops.
Right. That's interesting. I'll have to, because are no cops honor societies
And we
around
have
here at all.
there's contests. There's contests going on. Oh, I gotta go.
Okay.
Um, All right.
Oh,
Our advocate started one a few years ago, and I went to a couple meetings, but of course they were just getting started.
right,
But I didn't think it because I had to go clear to Columbus or Grove
right,
City one time, and
mhm,
it wasn't worth my time because my
right.
husband was driving Columbus, and
Yeah.
so he had to take me, and it wasn't worth the time for me. And it
Hmm.
was they meet, I think, 3 or 4 times a year. But
Hmm.
there was no one woman wanted to be secretary, and she was supposed to contact everybody and give them everyone's information, and I never heard from her. So I thought, you go 3 months and not hear from anyone. So I
Right.
just, and the one before her, she tried to start one and she couldn't get
Mhm.
one. But
This would be a good time I'll have to look into it. Not an in-person
yeah,
cops honor society, but a Zoom, a virtual one, because a lot of chapters are still going virtual. So okay. Well, I found a nice I have a bunch of programs uh since I started Tops 5 years ago that I printed out, not realizing, hey, they're all on the website. So it's like, I found one that's called "Don't Worry, Be Happy," because I mean, this really hits the mark for me. It's from 2009, and it's a quick and easy program. Tormented, anxious, and vexed. Oh my. Most of the definitions of the word worry include words like tormented, anxious, vexed, and uneasy. We'll probably all agree that life is life to live a life filled with worry is not what we wanted for ourselves when we were young. None of none of us said to ourselves, when I grow up, I want to worry all the time. But that's exactly what some of us do. We worry too much. We worry about our family, jobs, bills, health, safety, especially safety these days, and our future. The truth is that much of the time what we worry about we can't control. That means that the amount of effort, time, and energy we spend thinking these anxious thoughts that and by the way make us miserable is wasted. There's a book that I got years and years ago. It was called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff.
I think I have that or I've read it before. I think I
I
had.
it it's somewhere in the black hole of my house somewhere. But yeah, it's all small stuff. We worry too much. If we take time, we if If you take some time to think about what you're constantly worrying about, you may be surprised to find out that the majority of times what you feared the most and worry about either did not come true or the consequences were not as bad as we feared. Worry control. If you have a problem, if you are often anxious about future dangers or threats, or even the current ones, you sometimes think the worst will happen. You overestimate the probability of bad things happening. You keep repeating the same worries and you can't get past them. You find it difficult to use worry constructively to solve problems. I'm not that bad, not quite, but I've noticed a lot of the worry about being often anxious about future dangers and threats. Since COVID started, that's happening a lot with everybody. People are just so worried they get paranoid. Yeah, get
I'm a
paranoid.
worrier. Me and my sister both are really bad, but I
Mhm.
haven't, other than not going to the store later in the day. I haven't
Right.
really worried as much as I normally would
Mhm.
about the virus. So
I worry more about the in-person schooling. We kept my grandson virtual, but some of his classmates, they go to the same school because we hear about in Scouts, they've had to quarantine twice already in the first 3 months of school. They had to quarantine twice, and his old second grade teacher had to get quarantined because her husband came home with it. And so I was like, wow. So her and she had to quarantine, but so she couldn't be around her daughter who goes to a different school from what she teaches. It's like, but lots of worry. Not all worrying is bad. Not all worry is bad. It can motivate you to be prepared. For example, if you are packing for vacation and you think it may be rainy or cold, worrying about the weather will help you plan for bad weather and pack appropriately. Worrying about rain when it's sunny, however, is taking worry to the extreme. Well, or my worry is, do I have enough food or survival supplies when I'm hiking by myself? So far, cross fingers, the only thing I've run out of is water because I didn't check my bladder to make sure it was full. You can manage your worry. There are several ways to teach yourselves how to become aware of your worrying thoughts and how to control them. Since worrying starts in your mind and your mind believes what you tell it, you can practice some mental exercises to gain control of your worrying thoughts. Once you're aware of some of the habitual issues you worry about, you can use your imagination to visualize that you are prepared, that you can cope, and that you can be successful in facing whatever situation worries you. Yeah, and even our weight loss journey, if we can convince our mind that we can do this, we can do it. So a lot of if we can convince our mind of a lot of stuff, we can handle things. Command yourself to stop. Since these are your thoughts that are making you anxious, you can command yourself to stop thinking them. For example, you may have some of the following worries. My kids will never be successful. I'm too old. I'm overweight. I will never get my promotion. The plane will crash. Oh, that's paranoid. The dog will get hurt. I will lose my job. I will always feel sick. I cannot pay my bills. We all have thoughts like this that we worry about at times. Hey, you're back. We're talking about don't worry, be happy. When you become aware of what you are worrying about, pick one thought and think deliberately about it, and then inside your mind yell stop. By practicing this behavior at each time a worry thought emerges, you can start taking control of your life instead of letting worrying thoughts control you. Part of our pledge, Uh, I will control my emotions, not let my emotions control me. That's basically what this is saying. If you're worried about something, don't let it control you. Constructive worrying. You can make worry work for you if you do the following. Write down your situation and reflect on what the issue really is. Brainstorming for solutions. You can do this by simply writing down possible solutions, or you can discuss the situation with a trusted friend or at chapter or Facebook groups, private Facebook groups. I would never put my worrying stuff on my public page because you get all the crazies responding to you. Really crazy. And then the drama escalates to the point where you gotta shut it down. Evaluate each idea and choose one. So for this week, it says think of something that you have worried about in the past. Think about the final event and if your worrying came true. Think about what you could have told yourself differently in order to minimize your worrying, and think about some of the issues you consistently worry about and reflect on how this behavior negatively impacts your life. And the tip that says, please remember that worrying too much can cause us to feel miserable. It creates stress. In addition, it drains our energy. When we are spending too much time worrying about what may happen, we are missing on what is happening. Basically, be mindful, be present. Worrying about the future robs us of the enjoyment of the present. We all have a right to enjoy ourselves. If you control your worrying thoughts, your life could be much more enjoyable. You deserve it. Has anyone ever gotten to the situation that your worrying controlled you? Like I know the emotions control us in the kitchen.
You
Definitely.
learn to delegate.
Yeah. Trying to delegate in my house, it's like, well, you can do it or I'll do it wrong. So why don't you just do it yourself? It's like, okay.
Well, I know, and then that's bad, and you need to be able to let that go and
Yes.
let that other person do what
Mhm.
you've asked them to do without being critical.
Yeah. Stop being controlling and nitpicky.
Mhm.
That's easier said than done. That is hard. It's really, really hard. I'm trying though. I'm really
Mhm.
good this morning. I didn't have a whole lot of coffee. I've been drinking water. I had got one of those dragon fruit refreshers from Starbucks. I got it
Mhm.
with the double dragon fruit in it, and I'm using it putting a little bit in my 32-ounce bottle of water. So I'm basically flavoring in it, and I've only had the calories of one all day. So that's 70 calories split across
Mhm.
12
See?
hours. So it's like, yeah. And it tastes good. It's just flavoring my water because I have no idea where to buy dragon fruit, even if it's in my stores locally.
See, I
So,
do my lemon water. I gotta.
mhm, good.
It's really helpful. I with whatever I got going on with the kidney stones, I'll tell you, it's really helpful.
The water,
It's
the
and
water.
it's making me drink more,
Hmm.
which is really good for your weight loss.
Well, so that's a good worry. You're worrying about your health, so it's causing you to do something positive, which is
Yeah.
great. Um, yeah, I got earbuds in, so absolutely everybody's very loud. So Stella, have you ever that you've discovered that some worrying has really controlled your life positively or negatively?
I wake up, I wake up in the middle of the night, and the longer I'm awake, then I lay there and worry. So I either
Mhm.
sometimes I'll turn the TV on. I don't like to get up. It's colder in the other part of the
Yes.
house. But yeah, if I'm awake very long like that, that's my nature to worry. So
Hmm. My mom would call you a worry wart.
yeah.
I try. Let me mute me for a second. Okay. But yeah, it's that one book that I mentioned earlier, that the don't sweat the small stuff, it's all small stuff.
Mhm,
That really rang true. I need to find that book because it's really true. I mean,
mhm. I need to stop
nothing
that.
is, yeah, yeah, you sweat. I mean, my mother-in-law was that way. She worried about absolutely everything, and to the point where it affected her health. So I need to make sure I don't get it that far. So, anybody, I know, Tammy, you had some great news. Share. Did you, Stella, did you see her post about the article she was in?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that yesterday, I think. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Tammy.
Well, it came from, somebody called from headquarters and, arranged a time where I could talk to, the editor of the paper, and,
Mhm.
it was good. He pretty much knew what he wanted to say. He got a lot of
Mhm.
information from headquarters, and,
Mhm.
it was an easy, interview, but, um, I'm gonna, well, I did share it with the Top Start Share, and I did just hear from them this morning, and, so I've got an email, so I think I should write something and that I can just put a little blurb just to,
Mhm.
really push Tops.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, we've seen a lot of Tops members be in the big magazines, and you
They
don't
never
see it.
expected me to be in it.
Yeah, I mean, there used to be like the newspapers. They would always have top stuff like celebrations, or the chapters aren't as much putting the information in the newspapers. Like if somebody made chapter queen or area queen, it's
Mm,
not. No,
no.
it's not in the paper
And
anymore.
I
But
had to mention that. He didn't even mention that. I had to mention it to him, like,
Mhm,
and,
right.
but,
Our newspaper used to have a community page, but sometimes there's only 3 or 4 pages in our
I
paper.
know.
And you can't put it, you can't put anything in like that anymore. They used to do it free, your
Right.
meeting,
Yeah,
and they don't
it's.
do anything.
I mean, because I did call my newspaper because like I wanted to put something because I opened a new chapter. It's like, well, you can pay for it, or even like my business cards.
oh,
Is it you
yeah, see,
can pay for it,
there was no
or
fee. They did that free. They did that interview free.
or you could write an editorial, and as space permits, they'll put it
Mm.
in when there's room. Because I know I had one chapter. I've been an advocate a year and a half, and only one chapter has ever put something in the newspaper. And they did it. They did it for free as an editorial, but they had to wait till there's room in the newspaper to put
Mm.
it there.
I've heard more from headquarters than I have my local people.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
you're also a state queen, so I would expect that to happen. Um,
Right.
because I mean, our state king, I didn't contact um
Hello.
him at all.
Hello. Uh-uh.
Is that you, Tammy?
No, it's my husband.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he just dropped the. He didn't get the phone call. Uh,
Uh,
we're probably both headed to the respiratory place today.
okay. Well, you get better.
All
You
right.
guys, you get better.
I
But
should probably go.
okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Stella, it's good to see you.
You too.
Take
Okay, and
care.
get better. Maybe I'll
Yep.
see you on Wednesday.
All right. Night. Good
Yeah.
night. Good
Yeah.
night.
See you later.
No, I'm not feeling well. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
How do I hang up? Can't get up.
Just end. Just leave meeting. Just press end. There you go. She's a riot. But yeah, it's I don't see as much of anything even about meetings in the newspaper anymore because one, my newspaper is down to 3 times a week, and the Sunday paper is $6, so I'm not buying it. There's just no way. $6. Mm-mm. And it's all like magazines. It's all ads these days. Not a whole lot of. It's all about the bad stuff, none of the good stuff. So,
We have a daily paper, but it's not very big at all anymore.
well, we have the Daily Saver, and we used to have what was called the West Shore Shopper, and they're not there anymore. They don't exist anymore.
I think
But
people are doing so much online that they
yes,
don't rely on newspapers and magazines.
they're basically what we would call a mullet wrapper, or a fish wrapper. Like when I lived in Key West, Florida, the local newspaper was only good for wrapping fish. There was nothing good in it. But that's what, but otherwise, do you have any success stories or anything you want to share?
I haven't been doing as good since I think Christmas, and I haven't bounced back, but I got up this morning and I'm a lifetime member in Weight Watchers, so I thought I'd just go back to counting points because I haven't really been doing anything. So I'm gonna
Right.
try that see how that
Yeah,
works.
good. Whatever works for you. I mean, I used to belong to Weight Watchers, but my local one, all they really wanted they just talked at you. There was no give and take like in TOPS meetings. That was just the local chapter there, but I've used Weight Watchers and they've got some really nice recipes. So
You can get a lot of
it
stuff.
works for you. That's
Yeah.
what you work.
They're not
Oh.
having local meetings now.
No.
But there's a lot online.
Right. I mean, I've noticed like most of the places have gone back to online, because there's like the local Weight Watchers meets in our grocery store, but everything is closed to local meetings. Even the dietitian is all virtual, so you can't go to the nutritionist to have a sit down. Basically it's now free, but it's a Zoom meeting. Or actually, it's more of a video call because we didn't actually see her. But whatever works for you. I mean, I use MyFitnessPal and count calories. I try to be honest about it, but I did not record that carrot cake. I did not. No way. I didn't do it. But and I've done the exchanges. The exchanges I use more when I realize I'm not getting all the exchanges, all the groups. And because when I originally went to a dietitian, basically they did exactly what TOPS does, and the meat, protein, carbs, your other carbs, starches, all that stuff. That's exact. So when I went into TOPS, it was like, okay, this is what the dietitian told me to do, which is use the stuff from the diabetics food exchanges. So I've been using it for like 5 years before I even joined TOPS. So it was old hat. But it's so much easier just to put it in MyFitnessPal. It really is. But I mean, it was the TOPS is more the support group. I mean, this is what does it for me. I mean, but yeah, I haven't been doing so well this month either. For some reason, I know I'm down on water, but I'm in the upper leeway, and I do not like that because before Christmas I was in the bottom 7 for 52 weeks. In that 52nd week, I was over my goal number. It's like it was a shock. It's like, what am I doing wrong? It's the water. Not drinking water. I mean, I'm active 7 days a week, and I'm eating enough food. So I'm trying to like no breads or no gluten. I can do carbs like fruits and vegetables, but I'm trying to see how I feel without the carbs, the bad carbs.
I've been doing really good on water. I didn't used to drink a lot of water, but I've been getting 8 every day. So
I noticed yesterday because my daughter brought home this dragon fruit mango fresher from Starbucks, and I put it in she was done with it, or no, I brought one home and we split it. And as soon as mine was done, I just poured more water in it. And I ended up drinking 3 water bottles just by putting more water in this drink. It's like, hey, I'm drinking the water is for the first time in 2 months. I'm drinking more than 10 ounces of water, but it helps. Anything that helps, because I'm not going to go buy a cucumber, and because I just won't drink it. It's just not the satisfaction I'm looking for. I mean, cucumber infused water is good for you, but if it doesn't satisfy you with taste, you're not going to drink it. But my son loves it, not me. I'd rather eat the cucumbers. So, but otherwise, I will. Do you take the helping hand poem?
No, I looked that up, but I haven't copied it off yet.
Okay, I will. I printed out. I posted it on my thing, but I will. It's on topspan.com under poems.
Okay.
Okay, you take my hand and I'll take yours, and we'll start out today. For helping hand is what we need to help us along the way. The road to goal is a lonely road. We need someone to care. Reach out, my friend, and take my hand, and then we're almost there. And I had one. We had a visitor at my chapter on Saturday, and she's transferring to our chapter. It's like, yes, and she loves this. It's like, so we're going to keep this one. So it's like, yay! The Never Quit Pledge is great, but this one just hits the spot every single week. So, but it's all about the support. So, okay, well, hopefully I will see you on Wednesday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.